I'm going to make Christmas crinkle cookies. And then my other one is I'm going to make like those thumbprint cookies, but they're going to be chocolate. This is my go-to cake mix cookie recipe. I use it for a lot of things. Except for, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a chocolate cookie, but I'm going to add the peppermint Hershey Kisses inside of the cookie. So I'm going to do the Christmas crinkle cookie first because they take a little bit longer to bake. They take 12 to 15 minutes to bake per batch. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on those first. And then when they're in the oven, I'm going to start the next cookie. So here we go. Okay, so for the Christmas crinkle cookies, you are going to need 1 box of basic vanilla, or I'm just using a white cake mix. So you will need 1 box of this. And, oh, I forgot something. Okay, so this recipe calls for 1 egg, lightly beaten. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. So I have 1 egg in there. Whoops, and I'm dropping everything. I'm sorry if you guys hear gurgling and stuff behind you. I have my dishwasher going. We also need 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. And I have a brand new bottle here. Thank you, Kara. Oh, it smells so good. So I'm going to pour in a capsule, because they usually say a capful is usually about 1 teaspoon. I haven't actually tested that theory, but I'm gonna go with it. And then 1 tub of Cool Whip. Now, from what the recipe said, it says this is a very sticky dough. So please keep that in mind when making this. So it says about 3 cups, 1 tub, which would equal 3 cups. This says 8 ounces. I don't know, but it just said 1 tub of Cool Whip. So I'm gonna mix this all in here. All right, let's get this in here. I had to put this in the microwave for like 10 seconds or so because it's still a little frozen. So, and like I said, does anybody can they eat Cool Whip like as ice cream? Because I know I can. I love Cool Whip. Okay, let me move this out of the way. And then let's get this mixed up. And this is all the ingredients that you need. Mixture. I think it's pretty well mixed. It looks kind of lumpy. It is super duper thick. Like, it is not coming off my spatula without a fight. So they said it would be like that. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to get 3 bowls out. Okay, so now not only do I have a mess, I have my batter mixed or separated into 2 bowls. One has red food coloring, one has green, and then this is my powdered sugar bowl. I have, of course, my baking sheets lined over here. My oven is already preheated. I know they say not to spray, but I still do a very light coating. This can is oily, like slipping through my fingers. So now I'm just going to mix this dough, you guys. Like, I'm not, or whatever you want to call this, is so ridiculous. It definitely is one of the stickiest doughs I've ever made before. So it's so hard to mix. Like, seriously, I'm not even exaggerating. Like, this stuff is like, I don't know, like putty. It's serious, you guys. So I did red and green, but like I said, of course, because they're just like the Christmas colors, you can use any color that you choose to use. All right, I'm gonna mix these up. Okay, I got my colors mixed up. And let me just go on the record to say that if you have any kind of arthritis, any kind of arm pain, back pain, this dough is so hard to mix. I'm just saying. So, fair warning. So here we have our red. Here is our green. I'm going to start with green because one is right here. So I'm going to take my little itty bitty spatula here, and I'm just going to clean my spoon off. I don't know what's going to clean the spatula off, but let's just get this cleaned off right here. I'll set this on my napkin, put that in the sink, and then I'm going to take my cookie scoop. I don't know how well you guys can see, probably not. I'm going to take my cookie scoop, and then I'm going to put it in the powdered sugar. And I'm just going to take actually a little fork, and I'm just going to roll it around so it looks like a little, I'm going to like tap it on the fork because now I can hold it. Just so it looks like a little snowball. Now it says that these will spread, so I'm going to give them a fair amount of distance. So okay, so my first bowl of the green is empty, and I have 14 cookies here. I actually wasn't gonna put 2 cookies right here on this tray. I was just gonna do 6 and 6 and do 12, but I only had a little bit of dough left, so I went ahead and just put 2 here. I hope they don't spread and run into each other too bad. So I'm gonna put these in the oven. I'm going to set the timer. I'm going to check them at 12, and if they need the additional 3, I'll let them go for 3 more minutes. While they're doing that, I'm going to start peeling these Hershey Kisses for the next cookie, and then I will put the red batch in, and as the red batch is baking, I'm going to start the next cookie dough. So hold that thought. Alright guys, so I have my second batch of the Cool Whip. I have all the red cookies in there. So now I have my chocolate cake mix. This is my second cookie. I have my chocolate cake mix already in the bowl. I have some Hershey Kisses peeled and ready to go. I have 2 eggs lightly beaten, and I'm just going to go ahead and pour them in there. And this is my go-to cake mix cookie recipe. I have been making this cookie for eons. So yeah, and then I'm going to add 1/3 cup of vegetable oil. I do not have any butter. If I had butter, it would definitely be butter. But I'm going to add 1/3 cup, and then in case you didn't know, 1/3 cup of oil is actually 5 tablespoons. What was that? 2, 3, 4, and I'm not going to add a whole 5th one because I don't like all that oil. Like I said, this is my go-to. I've been making this cookie for years. This has been the best cookie recipe for just a quick, like, oh, I don't have everything to make a cake, but I want something sweet. I need to make a cookie. I mean, doesn't get better than that. So I'm just gonna mix this up. I have about 7 minutes left on the timer. It's gonna start coming together. It doesn't look like it is, but it definitely is. Okay, so here is the cookie dough. This is the chocolate cookie dough. Now, if you want to, you can add extracts to this. You can add chocolate chips. You can add anything that you want. It is a nice, thick dough. Here's what the dough looks like. It's nice and heavy, but it's a really good dough. Like I said, I have been making this dough for a very long time and using it for cookies. So you can do the same thing. This is like your basic cookie dough recipe for cake mix cookies. Now, like I said, I would typically use melted butter, but I don't have any. Like I said, you can fold in chocolate chips, you can fold in sprinkles, you can use any flavor cake mix you want with this cookie, and you can do whatever you want. When it's like this, you can chill it. You could put it in the fridge. I've made sugar cookies out of these and I roll them out. I do chill it and I roll it out, cut my cookies out. They do spread, so you need to keep that in mind. They do spread a little bit, so if you do cut them out, just do circles, like if you want a perfect circle. But yeah, these are the bomb.com cookies. So I have 3 minutes left, and then once these cookies come out, I'm gonna get these in the oven, and then we'll show you the next step. Okay guys, so as you can see, over here are our Christmas Crinkle Cool Whip cake mix cookies. Whew. Now here are our chocolate cake mix cookies, and they came out of the oven a few minutes ago. And now all I'm going to do, I still have more, is I'm just gonna push a peppermint. You don't want the cookies like super hot, but you don't want them to be completely chilled. And you just want to press, you guys can't really see, this is kind of hard to maneuver, a peppermint Hershey Kiss right dab in the center of these chocolate cookies. Just like that. Now I'm going to finish baking the rest of whoa! Party foul. Get that in there. I'm going to finish baking the rest of these and doing these, and then we will talk about what I found and things that I tweaked and stuff like that. Okay guys, it has been 2.5 hours. All my baking is finally done. So I want to talk about these cookies real quick. The first cookie that we made were these Christmas crinkle cookies made with 1 box of cake mix, 1 egg lightly beaten, and a tub of Cool Whip. Of course, all the recipes will be linked, or not linked, but will be in the description box below. Now, one thing I discovered, the first color I did was the green batch. The first thing that I discovered with these is that 350 is too high of a temperature to bake these. This is what the recipe said. I don't agree. Look at the bottom of my cookies. They are pretty dark. Granted, now these also have powdered sugar, which also caramelizes and can burn. So 350 is not a good temperature for these cookies, and I only baked these. The temperature said 12 to 15 minutes, but because I smelled the burn, I took them out at like 12 minutes. Now these, the red ones, I cut the heat back to my trusty 325 baking time, and the bottoms are a nice brown caramel color. The cookies came out really, really nice and pretty, and I just cooked these just a little bit longer. I cooked these for 15 minutes at 325, and this is the result. Now they both look appealing at the top. I really, really like them. But let's see if the taste differs. I am just going to take a little bite. I'm going to break the green cookie in half or a piece. There is the texture of the cookie. Now I just use my cookie scoop, which I have to stop and I have to say it is with deep regret that I have lost a member of my baking family. My cookie scoop is broken. It's not going the right way. I think the Cool Whip cookies did it in, and then with the thick cookie dough of the chocolate cookies, it just couldn't do it. So now I must lay this to rest. I'll wash it one last time and put it out of its misery. Actually, I still might save it, just might break the piece off and just use it for cupcakes. But I am going to Ollie's, my favorite store, tomorrow, so maybe I will pick up a brand new cookie scoop. So again, here is the inside of the cookies. Now again, like I was saying, I use my cookie scoop. You can make these smaller if you want to not maybe flatten them out, but if you want to do smaller balls to make smaller cookies, that's fine. I believe I got, hold on, let me count real quick. Okay, so I got 28 cookies out of 1 box of the Cool Whip cake mix batter. Let's give these a taste. I'm going to taste 1/2 of this one. You can definitely taste the burn. Not a good taste. I wonder if there's a way I can like cut that off or something, which is very unfortunate. Okay, can't really go by the flavor of that. Here is the red cookie. This is a better cookie. There's the inside of the red cookie. I'm gonna take a bite. These are much better. I have a little crisp from the bottom, probably from the sugar. But all in all, these are a good cookie. They're nice and moist. Very strong vanilla flavor, the sweet from the powdered sugar. That's a really good cookie. So, these are really good. I probably would make these again. But like I said, if you have arthritis or any kind of arm pain, back pain, this dough is the worst. Use a dough hook. Okay, moving on to the next one. Okay, so here are our chocolate cake mix Hershey Kisses. Oh, these are still a little melty. I'm like flinging this around and my Hershey Kiss is melting a little bit. These were still warm. Of course, when I put them in, they come back to shape. So I don't usually mess with them. I let them cool completely before I pack them away. But if you wanted to just push it down, you could, whatever. But these are our peppermint chocolate cookies, cake mix cookies. I'm just gonna take a bite of this. There's the inside. If you love chocolate and you love peppermint, you will love this cookie. Now, you don't have to put a peppermint cookie. Again, this is for, a peppermint Hershey Kiss. You don't have to do that. I would eat the rest of that, but I'm not going to. You don't have to put, you don't even have to use chocolate cake mix. You can use red velvet. You can use lemon. You can use whatever you want, and you could put whatever candy you want in it, any kind of Hershey Kiss that you want. If you want to do red velvet with a cordial cherry Hershey Kiss, that's fine. If you wanted to do like the chocolate cake with the hot cocoa, you can do that too. You can add marshmallows, little mini marshmallows to the cookie dough and make like a s'mores or graham crackers. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. I love cake mix cookies. They're easy mode, they taste good, and you get best of both worlds. You get cake and you get a cookie. What more can you ask for?